Volcane never changes. And that is exactly how it should be.
Dario and Shadowlynx gained the power of the crystal from another world. And by doing so, they thwarted the Ashen strategist Uldoa's attempt to open the door to the Chamber of the Core Crystals using that very power. With a decisive plan in hand, Uldoa sought an audience with the Ashen King Mont in hopes of recovering their lost footing. Witnessing Uldoa's extraordinary resolve, the Ashen King asked her a simple question: if she remembers the day she entered his service. For Uldoa, it is a day that will forever live in her memory. It was the day she was betrayed by her sworn liege and trusted comrades, the day her heart perished. A special day in which she was given life anew. The day she joined the Ashen King and his family. Renewed in her desire to see her liege's ambitions to fruition, she swears her life upon her new plan. To this, the Ashen King gives his blessing and his trust. Elsewhere, the warriors of the crystals search for the Ashen King. Once again calling on the help of Eureka, they are able to find traces of his magic upon a small world. The warriors hasten there and are met by its inhabitants upon their arrival. Monsters who speak the tongue of man and who choose to live in harmony with humans. Through this encounter, Dario realizes just how much there is to learn about these other worlds. Wishing to give meaning to his remaining time, he is inspired anew to save the place these peaceful beings call home. Uldoa and the Warriors of the Crystals confront each other at the Temple of Radiance, each seeking different ends of their own. In the midst of a fierce battle, Uldoa manages to ensnare the warriors in a trap. For she was armed with the knowledge that the Temple of Radiance was created long ago as a passageway to the chamber of the core crystals. Her trap would sap the magic from the warriors of the crystals, and especially the hidden power within Lucio, and finally open the door to that which her liege seeks. However, Lucio had learned much from his master, June, and from all the battles he fought along the way. By swearing to protect all life, not because it is his duty, but from a willful, inner desire to do so. Lucio's true power is awakened once more, and with it, he defeats Uldoa. Eyes glazed over with a dream of the world Mont would create, she breathes her final breath. As he treads the path to the inner chamber, Ashen King Mont senses that she had opened the way at the cost of her own life. Seeing his liege grieve and blaming himself for their loss, Ashen Shimmerlance Volke makes a decision.
Please go on ahead, your worship. That warrior, Lucio, is bound to come after us. Allow me to avenge Our Lady Strategist. I am the Ashen Shimmerlance, your worship's loyal spear. I shall run through any and all who defy you. This I swear! There isn't time, your worship. You must go quickly so that Lady Strategist's death won't be in vain. There's no need to worry. The power of the core crystals also flows within me by the grace of your worship. I won't be easily defeated. But if I can say one thing...
What is it?
If my lack of experience worries you, then I urge you all the more to hurry. It's simple, your worship. If you claim the core crystals before I am defeated, you can just use their power to save me, can you not? In other words, whether I live or die depends solely on your worship.
Volke.
Now get going, Lunacetus. No. Ketone. I'm counting on you to keep his worship, Lord Mont, safe.
Volke. My brother. No matter what it takes, you must survive. You must live, for I refuse to lose another. That is my one and only command. What is it, Volke? You have fallen quiet. I gave you an order, and I would hear your answer.
It shall be as you wish.
Do not fail me.
I won't, your worship.
Come, Ketone.
Yes, your worship.
He called me his brother. Such words are wasted on me. If I had remained the same child I was the day I departed with his worship, I could have been happy. I thought of Mont and Ketone as family. Before I knew it, Sis was just a distant memory. But I'm not the same as I was back then. I can't be.
Hey, Uldoa, why does Lord Mont always look so sad?
Volke. I see you've reached an age where you notice things like that, little one.
I told you already, don't call me little.
Oops. I apologize. I just can't seem to help myself. So much time has passed, and yet I still see the little lad I met back then.
I guess the only way to change that is for me to grow up as fast as possible. Then I can join the fight too, and Lord Mott won't have to look so sad all the time. I'll take down all the enemies in his path, get a big reward, and become his best retainer. And when I do, you won't have to think so hard every day, old Doa. You can retire.
Well, well, that sounds like a fine idea. I suppose that means I stand in the presence of a great general-to-be. But there's so much for you to learn before you can go out and earn your honors on the battlefield. Like combing your hair after waking up. It is an unruly mess. But I shall see it tamed soon enough, so come here.
I can do it myself. Besides, your hair is just as messy. Maybe even worse.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Quite the bold statement for one so little, General Volke. I'd say it's deserving of a little punishment.
No, please! Not the old Doan mini bomber!
This is what happens when you don't respect your elders! Take this!
Ah! I'm sorry! Stop! Please! Stop!
Giving up already, Volke. We haven't even reached the mountaintop yet. I thought you wanted to protect his worship.
Wait up! Just for a little!
No. Now hurry up. You will never wield a spear with such weak legs.
Damn it! You don't have to be so harsh, kid! Ugh.
I told you not to call me that during training. Throw away such sentiments, Volke. As punishment, you can do 2 more climbs. If you can't make it back to the foot of the mountain by nightfall, the monsters can have you as far as I'm concerned.
You're the only monster here!
If you have energy enough to curse me, it means I've been too lenient. Shall we make it 3 climbs instead?
Here I come, your worship.
Show me what you can do. Your movements are sharper than before. But enough. Let us end here. You have done well in your training.
Thank you, your worship. Does that mean I can finally join you in battle?
Someday, yes. When the time comes.
Someday. Still the same answer, I see.
Volke! Watch your tongue before his worship.
But I tire of hearing those words. When is the time supposed to come? Why won't you let me see battle, your worship? We visited countless worlds in search of that power's source, but not once, not one single time have you...
That's enough, you fool! His worship does not let you see battle because you are clearly not ready.
I didn't ask you, Kit. Ketone. I would hear the answer from his worship. Pray tell me, am I truly not good enough yet, your worship? If you can't answer with words, then answer with your blade in a duel, here and now. If I can land a clean blow upon you, then please, allow me to formally be one of your warriors.
Have you no shame? If you insist upon squawking, then I will be your opponent and return you to your cage.
No. Let it be as he wishes. I accept the terms. But in return, you shall accept mine. If I am the victor of our bout, you will never speak of this again.
I gladly accept.
Ketone, you will stand as our witness. Be a fair and impartial judge to us both.
Are you certain, Your Worship?
I am. Volke has never challenged me to an earnest battle before. But now that you have Volke, you must prove your worth. Hold nothing back.
I believe you to be a man of your word, Your Worship. Now prepare yourself!
I shall burn everything and
This
build a new
battlefield shall be blessed.
ashes.
Show me the truth that can be found on this battlefield.
All right then, come and get it!
I will protect everyone who can do this.
Darkness, embrace my foes. Plunge them into despair. Be my strength. Not a bad challenge.
That was close. I had no idea Volke's skills had come this far. He's gotten strong.
As I suspected, warriorhood is in your blood. Your skills and spirit leave nothing to be desired. It brings me joy that you wish to serve me. But know this.
The blaze of the battlefield, pride of Leonis. You are something indeed to have made it this far, but you will go no further.
Lord Mont.
For the sake of your sister, Lilith, I cannot allow you to tread such a bloody path!
Enough! This match has been won. Please stop. Both of you.
I expect you to keep your promise. Never speak of this again. I shall decide when you are ready.
Understood, Your Worship.
Oh my! What was all that ruckus? Everyone looks awfully dour.
It is nothing that warrants your concern. His worship was merely training with Volke.
Ah, is that so? From the looks of things, Lord Volke put up a good fight, but was still shy of victory.
Your eyes are keen as ever, Lady Strategist. But I didn't even come close.
Then I suppose more training is in order. In any case, might I have a moment of your worship's time?
Speak. Did you find anything out?
I did, indeed. I was looking into the great waves of power your worship has begun feeling of late. And I believe I have finally discovered their source.
You have?
But of course, Never have I lied to his worship, and nor shall I do so today.
Then I would hear your full report. Let us go to a more befitting location.
Left out, like always. But I won't give up. One day I will prove to his worship just how useful I can be.
The core crystals. So they are the source of this great power.
Indeed, your worship. And the crystal in your possession is likely a fragment of them. The warriors of the crystals who saved your worship's life. It is my humble belief that they were originally born of these core crystals.
I see. I knew they were not human, but I did not suspect that to be their true nature.
After deciphering countless myths and legends told across the worlds we have visited, I have learned that the core crystals will emit infinite and inexhaustible magical energy when placed in the chamber to which they belong. This is without a doubt the source of the great power your worship spoke of.
With it, his worship would have infinite magic power at his disposal. And he could use that to recreate worlds? Where is that chamber you speak of?
And how do we get there?
I regret to say I do not have those answers yet, so I must humbly ask for your patience.
I guess there's not much we can do if we don't know where it is.
Fear not, Lord Volke, for my report has only begun. I would not bring anything to his worship's attention without at least having a clue in hand.
Do you never tire of needlessly putting on airs, Lady Strategist? Do not waste his worship's time.
Yeah, always the prickle and the posterior. Do you never tire of needlessly... As I said before, I have yet to ascertain the inner chamber's location or the way there. But it may be within our means to establish a connection with the core crystals directly, which is why I have asked for your worship's time today.
Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Aren't the core crystals in the inner chamber?
I must implore you be patient and all shall be explained. First, you must understand why his worship can sense the intense waves of power through the crystal in his possession. And that is because the core crystals have fallen from the place they belong. That chamber which lies beyond our grasp.
They have fallen from their place, you say? I find it hard to believe this would simply happen.
Normally, I would imagine such a thing to be impossible. But the fact remains that it is now reality. Which is why we can assume that some unforeseen circumstance befell the core crystals.
An unforeseen circumstance.
Could it be the doing of those three? The interlopers from the end of all things?
It is true that their power is unfathomable. And I do recall detailing to you all how dangerous it would be to come into contact with them unprepared. However, I do not think it was them for many reasons.
We can discuss that later. Continue.
Yes, your worship. Whatever the underlying circumstance may be, it has presented us with the perfect opportunity to establish a connection to the core crystals. And the reason I say that is, the core crystals are scattered across a place deeply connected to us.
You cannot mean...
Ardra again? This can be no mere coincidence. Must my fate be forever tied to that accursed place?
This is the result of a great many world lines branching from that land. Though I am sure your worship is already aware of such. I understand your anger, but think of sufferance as a virtue that shall give us the advantage of familiarity.
So, you're saying that we're more likely to find the core crystals because Ardra's our home? Well, maybe not my home. Barely know the place.
That is correct. And I believe it best to make our move sooner than later. As I mentioned earlier, it is highly probable that this incident was caused by unforeseen circumstances. In which case, the warriors of the crystals will not sit idly by. It is their duty to uphold the harmony and stability of the worlds. And so it is inevitable that they too will begin to search for the lost core crystals.
I do not want to imagine what will happen if we are forced into combat against Perrine.
It is clear where we stand. We need to connect to the core crystals before the warriors do. I will not know whether or not I can obtain their power until I try. But try I must. I sense 4 energies that likely belong to the core crystals. While they are indeed on Ardra, they exist at different points in time. The strongest among them are here in Wotv and in Horn.
I take Uldoa's absence to mean that she has been sent through time and space to find the core crystal in Horn.
Indeed. We shall find the one in Wotv. However, even with Calidra's crystal, I cannot discern its exact location.
But if it really is that powerful, it could already be influencing its environment in some way. If we ask around a village or some other settlement, we might be able to learn something.
I suppose you have a point. That may be all we can do at present. In which case...
A moment, your worship. I hate to have to say this, but your current attire...
It might... it will definitely draw too much attention.
Then I leave the matter in your hands, Ketone.
Would your worship not consider, perhaps, assigning Volke to the task?
Volke, you say?
Yes, your worship. I believe his appearance and gear would allow him to pass as a traveling mercenary. It would be easier for him to blend in, especially in areas where rumors abound, like taverns and the seedier corners of town.
A sound argument. Are you up to the task, Volke?
Yes, your worship. You need not even ask. I won't let you down.
Then I leave it to you, Volke. However, you must avoid fighting at all costs. Especially with other people.
I know. I will bring you whatever information I can find.
Have I noticed anything different? Well, yeah, I sure have.
And what might that be?
The monsters. Lately, they've turned savage and have been rampaging around these parts. The Elder's at his wit's end, so he asked a noble by the name of Rogal to step in. He's the man who rules this area. Ah, I see now. You've come to join the hunt and make a name for yourself, haven't you?
Well, that's right. There's no fooling you, sir. As you might have guessed, I'm a traveling mercenary. Heard I could make myself a fortune in these parts, so here I am.
That's so. Well, I don't mind who does the job, so long as those monsters are gone by the end of it. You'll find the commander posted at the Black Dove Inn on the main road.
The Black Dove. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Here's hoping you make your mark out there. Best of luck to you.
Rampaging monsters, huh? I wonder if the core crystal is to blame for that. His worship told me to avoid conflict with people, but monsters are a different story, right?
A mercenary, huh? You're young, but you look like you can hold your own. All right, you're in.
Appreciate it. This should keep my coin purse full for a time.
We'll discuss rewards once you've shown some results. I trust that works for you.
No objections here.
Then it's settled. We head out tomorrow morning. Rest up at the inn tonight. But know the fee's coming from your pay.
Nothing's on the house, huh? Guess I'll need to work hard to make sure I don't come out of this with less than I started.
I will decide the fate of her. Mercy. You just sit back and watch.
I shall burn Wotv and build a new world from the ashes. The ashes await you!
I shall eliminate all who oppose his worship. With this power,
Witness the finest of plans
do
put
what I
into
can do.
action.
farewell. Keep on chasing.
It's over!
I will not waver. Keep trying.
Let's do this! I did the right thing. I'm sure of it. There. That's one pack down. See for yourself.
Well, I'll be damned. You've got quite the spear arm for your age.
No need for flattery, Commander. I just want to know if this is the end of the job. Is there any chance we might be asked to look into why these monsters turn savage?
Hoping to milk the Wotv army for all it's worth, are you? I like your style. The regular army could use a talented soldier like yourself. I could put in a good word, you know.
Me? A soldier?
Why not? It seems a wandering dragoon joined our ranks not long ago. Heard she rose through the ranks so quickly, she now takes orders directly from King Kuri himself. So how about it? Right now, Wozet's your oyster if you've got skill.
I assume you'll also be rewarded a little something for so wisely recommending me.
You scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. In this day and age, you need to make your gill when you can.
And that's more important than people's livelihoods?
You've got a coin purse to fill too, don't you? Well, give it some thought. It's a good opportunity for the both of us.
Next contract comes first. I'll give it some thought, if you keep me employed.
Do not turn around. Just give me your report.
What I've learned so far points to the monster's aggression being a result of the core crystal's influence. I've helped the Wotv army defeat the beast several times now, and I think I've gained a certain degree of their trust.
So you've been joining them in battle?
Eventually, the military will begin investigating the cause of all this aggression, and I want to be a part of that. But for that to happen, I'm going to have to prove myself and make sure they want me on board.
Understood. I shall report back to his worship. In the meantime, continue with the mission. But try to make it quick. His worship is not comfortable with staying in Ardra for too long.
I will.
And before I go, Volke, allow me to say that you did well to detect my presence.
I wish she would decide whether to praise or patronize me and just stick with it. As much as I'd love to make this quick, it's not really up to me. It seems like the army is set on hunting down monsters as soon as they find them, but what could be their aim? Maybe I ought to look into the commander a little more. According to the soldiers at the inn, he went to speak with the Elder, but...
That's him. The mercenary that's cozying up to the army.
You fool! Don't look him in the eye! There's no telling what he'll do.
Damn it. Doesn't that mutt have any idea whose pockets his pay comes from?
That's enough. Let's go. We don't need any trouble.
Hey, wait! What was that about? I didn't expect them to thank me, but I didn't think they'd be like this considering I protected their town. Well, this is the Elder's house. I'll show myself in.
Don't be ridiculous. Even if you are the military, there are limits to how much you can ask for.
Are you sure you want to refuse me? If we withdraw, your town is all but done for.
This is extortion. I thought you were here to help us.
Calm yourself. We are under orders from Lord Rogal.
Then you must find out why the monsters are behaving this way. There must be a reason. Perhaps they have a nest nearby. How can you keep demanding more gil without even investigating the cause?
Hey, is what he said true?
You know, it's bad manners to eavesdrop.
I asked you a question. Why aren't you looking into the source of the problem? What was the point of even hiring me?
Come on, there's no reason to get angry. It's all a misunderstanding. There are limits to what the army can do.
This is no misunderstanding. He is trying to squeeze every coin he possibly can from this town. I will stand for this no longer. I will speak to Lord Rogal. No! I will raise this matter to King Kuri himself and see you punished.
King Kuri? And here I thought we could resolve this peacefully. It seems you need a painful reminder of your place in the world.
Stop!
What's this now? The wandering mercenary wants to play hero, does he?
I thought the army was meant to look after the people. Aren't you ashamed to turn your sword against the very ones you're meant to protect?
You've got spirit, boy. I'll give you that. But ideals can only get you so far in this world. Keep spouting such naive nonsense, and you might find it gets you into a situation you can't get out of.
And what situation might that be?
Something like this!
Heavens have mercy! How can this be happening?
You had promise, so I thought I'd take you under my wing. What a mistake that was. You there! Finish the deed.
Don't take it personally. This is a matter of life and death for us, too.
Curse you! You won't get away with this!
That's enough out of you!
My head. Those cowards. They jumped me from behind. Damn them! They tied me up and just left me here!
No! My house! The town!
Stop! Please!
What in the world is going on out there? Smoke. In this heat. It can't be. Did they set the town on fire? At this rate, it'll... Calm down. Remember what Kid taught you. When restrained by the enemy, I just need to dislocate this joint like so, and... damn it, that hurts! I can't believe she taught me such a painful technique like it was just another chore on the list. But it worked. Now to pop it back in, and...
Put it out! Someone, please! Put the fire out! It's too late! It's spreading too quickly! Why is this happening? And where is the army? Over here! Soldier! I need your help! My wife and child are still inside!
Is that so? Well, you've got nothing to worry about.
Oh, thank you.
After all, you'll be reunited shortly. On the other side.
What? You don't mean...
You bastard! What have you done?
You... Why are you still alive? Oh, but I've seen your skills countless times. I know when a fight isn't worth it.
Get back here!
Apologies, Lord Rogal. It seems we may have made a slight miscalculation.
I came to see how things were faring, but... well, they only had themselves to blame for this. None of this would have happened had they not foolishly threatened to alert King Kuri.
I could not agree more. At least we managed to grab all their valuables before setting fire to the place. But, who would have thought those Spanish brutes could be so heartless, huh? Torching the town and killing all its people.
No one would put it past them. Those filthy savages are known for their cruelty, after all. But His Majesty would never let them get away with it. He will bring Finis to its knees soon enough, then rebuild this poor town.
Leaving your lordship to take charge of the reconstruction. Which means you'll be the one making the estimates for everything. Isn't that right?
That's quite the scandalous choice of words, Commander. Not that I'm denying it. His Majesty has been putting far too much pressure on us nobles lately. And I think it is time you got a better grasp of the hardships we face managing these territories.
Oh, do continue, my lord. What happens in a burning town stays in a burning town.
I beg to differ. I heard everything you said.
Commander! Lord Rogal, help me!
You are not one of ours.
You little! You should be dead right now! How did you make it out of that fire?
If you wanted to keep me quiet, you should have killed me yourself. Why didn't you take my head? Is it because you're nothing more than a coward? A pathetic, spineless rat?
How dare you!
I'll take that as a yes.
Explain yourself, Commander. I tire of this farce.
My apologies, Lord Rogal.
You know what happens to those who miscalculate repeatedly and fail me, don't you?
Of course, my lord. I'll take care of this. Enough dawdling, you fools! Hurry up and surround this vagrant!
Your worship, please forgive me for what I'm about to do.
If you're saying your prayers, it won't help you! Go on, kill him! No one will miss one less drifter!
I just cannot let these fiends go unpunished! Ah!
I will decide the fate of our enemies. You just sit back and
I
watch.
shall burn everything and build a new
I shall
world
eliminate
from the
you.
ashes.
Thank you kindly. The true meaning of the finest of plans put into action.
No holding back. Let me do what I can do. Just give up.
I swear upon my name!
You come right into my trap.
No mercy.
Hear me.
Over here!
With this power,
No holding back.
Farewell.
I will not waver.
I swear upon my name! Pulverize!
The path is clear, Your Worship.
How can this be? A single man striking down all of my soldiers? Whoa! Arsenal! This job isn't worth dying for!
Now, only one left. Where is he?
What's going on here? Volke!
Let me go! Where the hell is that noble? He needs to pay for what he's done!
Enough! Have you forgotten what his worship said? What of your mission?
Ketone.
Calm yourself. Take a deep breath. That's it. Now, again.
Kid. These men. They're supposed to be soldiers. They set fire to the village. They tried to burn me alive. That's why
I understand. You don't need to say any more.
I never wanted this to happen. But I was so mad. I couldn't think straight and...
It's all right, Volke. I'm here. And you are safe. His worship. Lord Mont is worried about you. Let us return to his side for now. All right, Volke?
I'm sorry, Your Worship. Please forgive me for disobeying your orders.
Volke,
I was the one who nominated Volke for the job. I take full responsibility for this. What he did was unwise, but given the circumstances, I believe he had no choice but to defend himself. I said I would keep an eye on him from the shadows, but it is I who is to blame for this mess, not Volke.
Ketone, I should like to speak with Volke. I ask that you remain quiet for a moment.
As you wish.
Volke, how does it feel to have taken a life for the first time?
I don't know. I was so lost in the moment, I wasn't able to think.
Is that so? I can imagine. After all, it was the same for me. After claiming my first life on the battlefield, I simply stood there, motionless. Then your sister told me something I will never forget. She said that if I thought taking a life to be a sin, then she would bear that weight with me. For that is the pillar of strength your sister was.
Sis said that?
I have never spoken to you of my reasons, but allow me to make them clear now. I did not want you, her younger brother, to bloody your hands. I allowed you to take up the spear to train your mind and body, but I never wanted this life for you. I wished for you to live peacefully, never knowing bloodshed, in a world I would create anew.
Lord Mont.
But I see now I was too naive. It was selfish of me to want to shield you from all of this. And I was not as steeled in my resolve as I had believed. I was prepared to bear the weight of my own sins, but not the sins I wished to spare you of. I do not live up to the example set by your sister, which is why I think It is time I change my ways.
What do you mean, your worship?
What do you think, Ketone? I ask you as his teacher, someone who has watched him closely.
With all due respect, your worship, I think this experience was to Volke's benefit. He will not be a child forever. The world will inevitably force him to grow, just as it did with us. Regardless of how it happened, Volke crossed that threshold. Nothing can change that now.
Understood. Listen well, Volke.
Yes, your worship.
What you witnessed today is but a fragment of human folly. If you tread the same path as I do, you will see far worse, time and again. And there will be no way to cleanse the blood that stains your hands. Never forget that.
Yes, your worship.
Good. As long as you remember that, I shall bear the weight of all your sins from this moment forth.
Your worship, does that mean
You will officially become one of my retainers. You will share the same rank as Ketone and Uldoa, and be treated as such.
Thank you, your worship.
Take the place of your sister, the blaze of the battlefield, and serve at my side. Just like her blade burned bright like fire, so too will your spear shimmer crimson. Shimmerlance Volke, from today forth, you shall be my spear.
Shimmerlance, a most befitting epithet. Congratulations, Lord Volke. Now then, by your leave, I should like to brighten this auspicious day even further.
Uldoa, I see you have returned from Horn.
What exactly do you mean by brighten?
I come bearing information of none other than the whereabouts of a core crystal. I have confirmed its existence in an abandoned mine in a corner of Horn.
Your worship, I have a favor to ask. While I am grateful that you have given me a title in memory of my sister, I know I cannot take it as my own just yet. For now, I would like you to hold on to it, your worship. I will formally accept it once I prove myself worthy.
Very well. I imagine the favor you mentioned to be an opportunity to prove that very worth.
Yes. I believe the core crystal's magic will have drawn in no shortage of monsters. And its influence will have them more violent than ever. Just as they were in these lands.
I see. I had not reached that particular conclusion.
So, you meant to say you would carve my path?
If you would allow me, yes.
Then so be it. Now, let us make for Horn.
The core crystal is here? As Volke predicted, this place is teeming with fiends.
I imagine they will be great in number. Will you truly be all right on your own, Lord Volke?
Yeah. You two need only focus on protecting his worship.
As you wish. Allow us to bear witness to your first campaign, Shimmerlance Volke.
Go, Volke. Guide us to the core crystal.
Yes, your worship!
I will decide the fate of our enemies. You just sit back and watch.
I shall burn everything and build a new world
I
from
shall
the
eliminate
ashes.
all who oppose his worship.
The finest of plans put into action.
I can only do what I can do.
Pulverize!
Nothing stops my blade!
It's over!
Let's do this!
Farewell!
You'll hear.
Thank you kindly.
No turning back now. My path lies ever forward.
Fine work.
Your worship, look over there.
Is that the core crystal?
Without a doubt.
So this is a core crystal. The source of the great power I seek.
Please wait, your worship. I ask that you refrain from touching it at the moment.
Why do you stop me?
If you were to take that core crystal now, you would indeed be able to obtain a portion of great power. However, that alone would not be enough to attain your worship's true desires. What you seek cannot be obtained with a single core crystal. Rather, you must reach the inner chamber where all the core crystals are to rest. It is there that you shall gain the undeniable power to reshape the world.
That may be so, but then what do you suggest we do with this crystal now?
We went through all the trouble of finding it. Don't tell me we're just going to leave it here.
I believe that to be the wisest course of action. Do you remember what I said to you before, your worship? Work from the assumption there are others who know that an unforeseen circumstance has caused the core crystals to fall from their rightful place, and something becomes clear.
I see. Now that I look at it, there seems to be a different energy mixed within. One unlike its original power.
Indeed. Someone has tampered with the crystal. While I cannot discern exactly what they have done, for I have avoided unnecessary contact with it and made my observations from afar. There is a possibility that this is the doing of an interloper from the end of all things, or one of their allies.
So, heedlessly touching it may be dangerous.
Then what do you suggest we do? Standing by twiddling your thumbs is hardly a strategy befitting of your title.
I suggest leaving it here for the warriors at the crystals.
What? You can't be serious!
Allow me to explain. Once the warriors retrieve the crystals, they will inevitably return them to the inner chamber. So if we follow this crystal, it will lead us straight to said chamber.
And how do you suggest we do that?
By using Calidra's crystal. It has the same nature as the core crystals, and now that it has been in your worship's possession for so long, it has all but become a part of you. If you embed a fragment of it within the core crystal, then?
It will form a connection between my crystal and the core crystal, which we can use to locate the inner chamber.
Precisely. This will lay the foundation for the rest of your worship's plan. The core crystals will inevitably return to the chamber where they belong. When your worship stands before them and establishes a connection, the foundation we have laid will be the one true key to attaining their power.
But won't that be something the warriors of the crystals would notice?
They might under normal circumstances, but his worship is most fortunate, for these circumstances are far from normal. Suppose the mysterious power of the interlopers from the end of all things somehow contaminated the core crystals. It would be of the utmost priority for the warriors of the crystals to address this. One can imagine they would be far too preoccupied to notice if anything had changed. However, if the warriors fail and we risk losing the core crystals, then we will need another plan.
We can worry about that later. For now, let us put our faith in the warriors of the crystals. We shall proceed with your plan, Oldoa. Sooner or later, the core crystals will serve me.
Excellent. Now we need only wait. In the meantime, let us take to our preparations with a degree of leisure.
We will need a temporary base, preferably on an uninhabited world. Come.
Stand back, your worship! I shall handle this creature!
I thought I had defeated them all, but I shall right that wrong now!
Wait. It seems that it is not my life this creature hungers for.
It swallowed the core crystal!
What? Now it means to attack us?
Your worship! You mustn't!
Oh my. Your worship silenced it with a single gaze. That is quite the feat.
A wise beast you are. I shall leave the core crystal in your care for now. Keep it safe from wandering eyes in that pit of a belly until the warriors of the crystals come for it.
After that, days and months went by. Until at long last, the time had come.
Volke.
Your worship, I am here to escort you back.
Very well. What of Oldoa and Ketone?
They have already gathered and await your worship's return.
Then I suppose I should not keep them waiting. Let us return. What is it, Volke? Is there something you wish to ask me?
It's nothing, your worship.
Whatever it is, ask it.
This land, it is a part of Ardra, isn't it?
Yes. What of it?
You usually prefer to keep your distance from this place. So why? Why now? And why alone? Is something bothering you?
I thought the only obstacle that stood between me and my objective was the warriors of the crystals. But there was one more thing I had to be certain of. A presence. One that a man I know well had tried to prevent the revival of countless times. Even if it meant rewriting history itself. I needed to see if he succeeded, or if his efforts were in vain.
History was rewritten? There's something so dangerous here as to require that?
Indeed. But there is nothing to fear. For now. Though it may become a threat in the future. I need only reduce all to ash before that happens.
Reduce all to ash? Then it's true. The reason you summoned us all back from those worlds.
Patience. We shall speak of it later, when all are present.
It's quite enough!
Someone is there. Wait, your worship!
Then I shall ask but one question. You dare stand in the way of Lady Mashari's carriage?
I do not answer to you.
I see. Then there's but one explanation. You lot are from Leonis, are you not?
In that case, may the Leonesians bear your enmity.
It seems we are uninvited guests.
Lady Mashari, do not get out of the carriage. Pray wait inside.
It seems Princess Mashari truly is inside the carriage. And her life is ripe for the taking.
You fool! I shan't let that happen.
Did he say Mashari?
Any closer and they will notice us, your worship.
Curse you!
Schützelt, I shall fight with you.
No! Please, have faith in the first sword of Solidus. I shan't allow such shameless bandits to lay even a single finger on you, my lady.
This is hardly the time to be saying such things. You needn't worry about me.
No! You mustn't!
Mashari.
No, your worship, stop, please!
Opportune timing.
Father.
Your Majesty, they wear the armor of Horn.
Lilith.
Your worship. What did you just say?
Your worship!
Forgive me, Volke. This was all my fault.
Your worship. Just a moment ago, you said her name, didn't you?
Do not look! You mustn't, Volke.
Yes, your worship.
I see everyone is present.
Welcome back, Your Worship. Thank you for seeing him back safely, Lord Volke.
Sure.
Did something happen?
No. Of course not.
I see. I'll take your word for it, then.
I have gathered you today for one reason alone. The time has finally come for us to begin. The fragment I placed within the core crystal has at long last completely attuned to me. And now I can wield its power as my own, even without entering the inner chamber.
Finally. How long we have waited for this day.
I have confirmed that the one whose mysterious power contaminated the lost core crystals, and the interlopers from the end of all things, who seemed to be pulling the strings, were defeated by the warriors. I can say with complete confidence that there is no better time for us to act.
Then it begins. It is time for the world to be reborn.
Where would you have us start, Your Worship?
I understand well the defeat and despair of the interloper. Although we were never able to join forces, I have the utmost respect for him, and shall follow in his footsteps. In order to see his ambition fulfilled, it was from his very own home that he annihilated.
Then... you mean to...
Yes. We shall begin with the abominable land of Ardra. Uldoa has already begun the preparations. Are we ready to begin, Uldoa?
But of course. I have long waited for those words to bless my lowly ears. Now then, before his worship sets out on this grand journey, I would like to hold a little ceremony with these.
Masks? Whatever for, Uldoa?
They are for those of us who, in order to reshape the future, must first leave behind our pasts. His worship, Lady Ketone, and myself. Until then, these masks will stand as proof that we have cast off both our names and our histories.
Wait a moment. Why only the three of you? Why don't I get a mask?
Do not misunderstand, Lord Volke. This mask represents a separation from our pasts. But there is nothing in the life you have lived that need be left behind. I want you to live with your eyes set only on the bright future his worship would create.
Not that again.
Even so, surely these masks are nothing more than a theatrical indulgence. You have an unhealthy penchant for distractions, Uldoa.
As I said earlier, this is part of a ceremony. And allow me to share with you the nature of ceremony. The act itself is more important than what it yields.
Now then, Lady Ketone, if you would. Like this? I can barely see a thing. At least design it with practicality.
If we are to abandon our identities, then we will need new ones. I shall incinerate all the wickedness born of human folly that clings to the worlds. And from those ashes shall I resurrect them anew.
Thus, my name shall be the Ashen King.
It has a fine ring to it, your worship. In that case, I shall be the Ashen Strategist. And Lady Ketone, you are the fist that protects him in the night, blessed by his name. And thus we must give you a name worthy of that role. Let us call you Ashen Lunacestus.
I suppose you could have suggested worse, although, I mean, Lady Strategist. Very well then. I shall defend both his worship and his name until our deeds are done.
Listen well, you three. Once this begins, there shall be no stopping. Which is why I must say this now. Thank you for being by my side. You are my family, and my greatest treasure. Strategist.
Yes, your worship.
Lunacestus.
Your worship.
And Shimmerlance. Will you accept your name now?
If it is your wish, your worship, I will. Gladly.
Very well. I shall count on your allegiance more than ever in the battles to come. Now, let us make way to that ill-fated continent of Ardra.
So this is his worship's power, when combined with the core crystal.
Lunacestus, I entrust the next battalion I summon to you. Take them west and stop Rundal.
As you command.
Strategist, you will join me as we lay waste to Horn and pinpoint the location of the vein.
Your will is mine. Are you still upset about not receiving a mask?
No, I understand why Lady Strategist did what she did.
Do not wait for your duty to call on you. I must leave his worship's side for a time. I trust you understand what that means. He bestowed you with the name Shimmerlance. It is now your duty to prove that you are worthy of it. That is my final lesson. Now go!
Understood.
Just don't do anything reckless. Okay.
I won't.
Lord Adelard! You're too far out! Come back!
No! This puts me in the enemy's sights, right where I can draw their attention. And while I do, you must evacuate everyone you possibly can, including yourself.
What? You cannot be serious. I won't leave you. Foes such as these are no match for us. I shall stay and fight by your side until the very end.
No, you are going. I want you to take my sister, take Salir back to our hometown. Her wounds are deep, but she may yet make it out of this alive. I ask that you do this for me.
I will make the necessary preparations for evacuation, but that is all. I swear to return. So please, do not die on me.
They defend their home well. I expected no less from Horn's 2nd Division, Nitor.
Adelard, the Vermilion Devil, puts up quite the valiant fight. He has already managed to stave off his worship's forces more than once. There is little wonder as to why those unfortunate enough to cross him refer to him as a devil. The question is, what shall we do about him?
Please, allow me to send that devil back to hell. And while I do, your worship and Lady Strategist can focus on finding the vein as soon as possible. Take too long and we risk giving Solidus an opening.
Shimmerlands, what say you, your worship? If you would entrust the fight to me, I could settle the matter before the sun sets, but...
Very well. I leave it to you, Shimmerlands. Let the people of Horn know that the crimson of your spear burns brighter than that of the Vermilion Devil's blade.
It shall be done. You're commander of Nitor, aren't you? Adelard, the Vermilion Devil?
Are you human? Finally, a foe who is not a vision. A foe that can bleed. What is your name?
You can call me Shimmerlance. For one who is about to die, that's all you need to know.
We shall see about that. Lady Marjorie has entrusted me with Nitor. And you shall not defeat me so easily!
Oh, I will. If I can't, there's no hope for my future.
Your future?
I don't have time for this. From now on, my spear will do the talking!
Commencing mission.
I will decide the fate of our enemies. You just sit back and watch.
I shall burn everything and build a new
I shall
world
eliminate
from the ashes.
Much obliged.
Is my power alone not enough?
Witness the finest of plans
do what
put
I can
into
do.
action.
The real fight is now!
Quite the news.
See if you can handle this!
No mercy!
It's over.
You did the right thing. I'm sure of it.
This can't be.
It looks like I won after all.
I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Half of Nitor should have escaped by now. They will find Lady Marjorie and stage a counterattack. Of that, I am sure. No matter who you and your brethren may be, your victory shall be short-lived. The rest is in your hands, Riches.
You were a tough one, I'll give you that. There are still more of them inside. Even without their commander, it seems they won't surrender. What should I do? I imagine Lady Strategist would tell me to leave them be, but... Did you find something?
Hey, wait!
Everything's all right. Please remain calm. Head in this direction and you should be safe. Lord Adelard will hold the enemy back.
Wait. What do you think you're doing? Leaving me out of this? And acting like you're in charge all of a sudden?
You're still here? You won't be much help with your wounds. Now get going.
I'm not going anywhere. I need to help brother.
I will defend Lord Adelard for the both of us, which is why you must survive. Or do you intend to ignore your brother's wishes?
No. I hate having to admit that I am in your debt.
A debt I expect you to repay threefold. I leave the people in your care.
Threefold? Is that all? I'll pay you back 10. No, 100 times over. So you'd better make it back to claim it.
You're from Nitor as well, aren't you?
Who are you?
Your enemy. And if you're out here looking for your commander, I just struck him down.
I'm sorry. You defeated Lord Adelard? You can't be serious.
But I am.
Silence! A whelp like you could never defeat Lord Adelard!
Wait. The ones who left just now. They're civilians, aren't they?
And what if they are? Do you intend to lay your hands even on innocents who have lost their homes? I won't let that happen. Not on my life!
I shall incinerate all the wickedness born of human folly that clings to the worlds. And from those ashes shall I resurrect them anew.
Even if I let them go, it won't change the fate that awaits them. Which means it would be mercy if I were to just... If I were to...
Lady Regis!
You fools! Why have you returned? Get out of here quickly!
No matter where we go, we won't escape. So please, let us help you take at least one of those abominable dastards with us!
Yes, we're proud citizens of Horn after all. We can't just stand by and let them have their way.
No, no! Absolutely not! Please don't say that! Let me keep my final promise to Lord Adelard. I'm begging you! I loved him, no! I still do! And I always will! And if I cannot keep my word, then I won't know what to do with myself. I would never be able to face the Lear. Now go! And leave this vein to me, so that I may gut him!
Very well, Lady Rages. We know you can do it!
Please, be safe.
I won't lay a hand on the people.
Excuse me?
Their fate won't change. But that doesn't mean they should lose their lives here and now.
You...
And neither should you. So leave! Quickly now, before I change my mind!
I believe you won't harm them. So allow me to thank you for that. But that doesn't change how I feel. I cannot allow you to leave this place alive.
What?
My name is Rachis. I am a warrior of Nitor, Lord Adelard's greatest follower! And the woman who was meant to be his wife. You do well to remember my face.
His... wife?
I cannot forgive you for slaying my future husband! So prepare yourself! Lord Adelard, soon we will be reunited. You won't be alone. I swear it.
In the end, no matter what I did, I was a fool of a fledgling. Even I know that. Since then, I played the hypocrite too many times in order to escape my guilt. Unable to see and accept everything like Oldoa, or harden my heart and kill my feelings like Kit, I deceived myself and my family. But still, I